Rasmussen here. In this lesson, as you can see again written above me, we are going to talk about the circulatory system, so that's where we're moving next. And in this lesson, we're just going to look at an introduction to the circulatory system, get a couple of big ideas out there, and then close them up in a short lesson. So that's where we're going. First thing I want to talk about is the fact that there are actually a couple different types of circulatory systems. So if we were going to look at the anatomy of all the living things on this planet that have circulatory systems, we actually see a couple different types of them. The first one that we see, that we may be unfamiliar with, is an open circulatory system. And an open circulatory system, we see it in these organisms down here. We see it commonly in mollusks. So that's where we see an open circulatory system. And in an open circulatory system, what we have is the blood is not confined to vessels. So their body, the blood sort of floats around their entire body. So for instance, if we take a look at this diagram down here, there's a heart. And that heart is actually going to pump blood through the valves and out into the tissue. It's just going to pump it out into the body. And then that heart pumping is going to suck blood back into the heart. And it's going to continue to circulate it. So the blood is not confined to capillaries. There's no real true heart. And it's pumped throughout the body and sucked in and then pumped back out to the body again. Where in the other type you'll see a pretty stark difference. Our circulatory system, the type of circulatory system that humans have, is what's called a closed circulatory system. And in a closed circulatory system, the blood is confined to vessels. So our blood is trapped in the vessels. They usually don't leave the vessels, and if they do leave the vessels, it usually means something wrong is happening, where you have a cut or something where the blood is leaking into your tissues. So the blood is confined to this blood system, these vessels, these capillaries, and it's in these vessels and where the oxygen exchange is going to happen. So those are the two different types of systems we see. Now our system, our closed system, has what we call circuits, or these paths that blood flow. And we have two major circuits in our closed system. The major circuits of the blood. So if we're going to talk about these paths that blood flow in our body, there are two major circuits that blood flows within our closed circulatory system. One of which is called the pulmonary circuit. And the pulmonary circuit travels from heart to lungs to heart. So this is the circuit of our blood, or the path that our blood's going to flow. And it's going to go into our heart. And then our heart is going to pump it out to our lungs to gain oxygen. And then it's going to return to our heart filled with oxygen. So we have this pulmonary circuit in which we pump blood to our heart, from our heart to our lungs to get oxygen, and then it goes back to our heart. The other circuit that we're familiar with is what's called the systemic circuit. And in the systemic circuit, we're pumping from heart out to the body and then back to the heart. So we're going to take that oxygen-rich blood that we just got from our lungs in the pulmonary circuit. We're going to take that oxygen-rich blood and we're going to pump it to our body, everywhere. Our head, our feet, our arms, our extremities. We're going to pump it out. And then there it's going to drop off its oxygen, and then it's going to travel back to the heart where it enters the pulmonary circuit. So the systemic circuit goes from heart to body to heart. The pulmonary circuit goes from heart to lungs to heart. Our next video is going to talk all about the anatomy of the heart. So we're going to get into the bits and pieces, what the pericardium is, what it looks like, what are the layers of the pericardium, all the different parts of the heart, all the different valves. That's where we're going next lesson, and then we'll talk about the physiology of the heart and how it works and how it pumps blood. And you'll need to know the path that blood flows through the heart. So very important. Make sure you know these things. If you have any questions, class, ask me in class. Thanks. Bye.